MrBeast is the largest YouTuber on the platform and the second most followed person in the entire world. Now, while many people are aware of his main business lines, like his YouTube channel where he makes these crazy videos, or his Feastables brand in which he's literally making a chocolate that's competing with Hershey's. But did you know that he has a theme park in Saudi Arabia as well that is looking to compete with the likes of Disney? That's right, it is called Beastland, and I traveled all the way to the Middle East so I could check it out, because this place is only going to be up for about 45 total days, and we only have a couple more days to check it out. So I figured I'd travel there and spend some time investigating the ins and outs of Beastland, from the rides there to the food there and just everything in between. So with that being said, we have a lot to get to, so without further ado, grab your popcorn and let's do this.
We're currently in Saudi Arabia at Beastland. This is the 45-day pop-up theme park made by MrBeast. As you can see behind me, this is the entryway here. We have exclusive access to film inside of here because you're not allowed to film with any commercial equipment. So we're gonna have a first look at everything inside of Beastland, from the rides to the games, and just see what this whole thing's all about. So they have this entire custom MrBeast head. This is the logo, and you can walk through it to enter the park. It even has like the teeth and stuff. Now, the one thing about Beastland that's different than other theme parks, it has a gamification aspect to it. So like in addition to all the rides and like the games that you could play, there's also like these different challenges that are similar to MrBeast games that you can participate in, and then the winners get some sort of prize. So all of this and much more we're gonna check out right now.
Now, if you want to access Beastland, they have a website here called riyadhseason.com where you can basically get your tickets, and it says, "Welcome to Beastland, the ultimate MrBeast experience. It's a first of its kind destination inspired by the world famous challenges of MrBeast." And you'll see this place is open from November 13th to December 27th. So if you're watching this right now, it may very well no longer exist.
All right, so we are officially inside. Now this place is much bigger than you'd expect. Like this place is just sitting in the middle of the Saudi Arabian desert in Riyadh. And right off the bat, you could see like a ton of different games and different areas that you're ultimately able to walk around. So we're gonna start in this Beastland area. Here's the entire Beastland map. So just you can sort of see the scale and the size of this thing. Here we go. All right, let's head inside. So I think these are like all of the MrBeast lab toys that you'll see in stores. So he has these like action figures on the outside and on this side as well. So everything's going to be MrBeast themed. I'm even sure there's like a Feastables and like a Beast Burger in here as well. If not, missed opportunity. So here's the games, starting off basic with just some classic like arcade theme park games you'd expect. All right, first game at Beastland.
For this game, you have 2 balls and you have to knock off all of the pins.
Wait, is that a win? Oh, I go again? Okay. Let's go. That's one? Oh, this is small now. I gotta like... So I didn't win there, but the prizes you can win all look to be MrBeast colored and themes. So after those 4 games that you just saw, there's a mini roller coaster right here that you could go on. Also looks to be painted in the MrBeast colors. And then over here is Mystery Box, which I've been told is one of the coolest things you could do here. So I'm gonna go ahead and go inside and see what this is. They even have one of these like slingshot rides that just launch you in the air. People are about to go right now. I am not doing that. So we're currently entering the Mystery Box. Let's see what this entails.
We walked inside and it's basically a bunch of rooms with MrBeast type challenges, and if you complete them, you ultimately get points.
All right, so I got 30 seconds to get rid of all these balls one by one, and then I will click this and I get 1,000 points if I win this.
3,
okay, here we go.
1, and go.
Oh, I think I'll be fine, but I don't know. I'm not looking at the time, but gotta win this here. Oh, we're chilling. Too easy. So that's the first MrBeast challenge at Beastland. Success.
Okay,
next game. All right, so I need to get 3 of these balls into there by bouncing it. Here we go.
That's 1. Oh, that's a miss. That's 2. And that's 3, we got a winner!
All right, 2 for 2. Wow, it feels good to win a MrBeast challenge.
Now for this next game, I have to switch the balls back and forth with one hand over the course of 30 seconds, alternating between red and blue.
And go! Okay, nice, we loved it. 10, 9, 8,
No.
7, 6, 5, 4,
You're gonna get it.
3, 2, 1, let's have a look!
Wait, did I get it? I didn't. No.
Don't worry, if you come back, you have 2 more tries.
Oh my gosh, I didn't hit it?
Unfortunately, I lost because I didn't click the button, but they gave me another attempt.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Finally.
Congratulations, you getting the $1,000.
Thank you, thank you.
Nice win.
Ooh,
Nice.
that was tough though.
Now in this next game, you have to swing the ball like a pendulum to knock off the tubes, but you have to avoid this one. And you have to go in order from back to front.
That's the best.
Alright. Okay.
Oh, that's one. No. This one first.
Oh, okay. I see it.
That's one. That's the second. And third.
Easy game, easy game. All right, we're moving on to the hardest game yet. Ooh.
Now it's time for the last and hardest game, and there are a bunch of papers that are basically blowing around, and I have to collect 3 of the blue tickets in 30 seconds to win. But I can only use my hands, and they said that I have to keep moving, so I, for instance, am unable to just pin them against the tube. Again, they reiterated this game was impossible to beat, and it would take me likely 10 to 12 times to get this right.
I know, yeah. So just 3. Easy enough. All right. Oh my God. Oh wait, I just had it. 1, 2. Got them, all 3. That was good, right? That was quick. Yeah, I got 3.
Okay, nice job.
All right.
We got a winner.
That was good luck right there. All right, well, thank you for showing us around, man.
Really shocked.
Do people not win that one?
Yeah, that's a win.
So the little challenge area was a lot of fun. So they have 6 different games. You saw me playing a bunch of them right there, but this is where people generally accrue the most points, and they can ultimately purchase prizes at the end. Now, not gonna lie, the games were relatively simple. I think they're meant for people of all ages and different types of accessibility, which is great. But if you are a somewhat athletic person, you're likely going to beat every single one of these challenges with no problem. But to be honest, that's kind of the theme for a lot of MrBeast challenges anyway. I feel like anybody can ultimately beat them, which is the appeal.
So the way that you accrue your points is you put on this wristband, and then after you play each game, you basically tap to collect your points, and it just like holds the value. So at the end, when they tally up who the winner is, you basically know who has the most points based on the wristbands. So this is the main stage here. This is where they do the opening and closing ceremony, as you can see. And then behind it, we have Beast Arena, and then off to the side, we have a bunch of the food spots here that I want to check out. Officially a co-owner of Feastables. So what kind of food can you expect to get at Beastland? Well, they have the following. They have Archie, prime cut burgers, hot dogs, Cosmo, BLYs, bao buns, and on the other side they have more. So they have no shortage of food spots. I think there's something like 20 or so, which is actually a good amount for a theme park. And then in the middle they have this little like Feastables sitting area. Oh, this is cute. Like the seating cushions are just little pieces of chocolate here. Now, it wouldn't be a MrBeast land without some MrBeast money touches to it. So behind me we have the 3 piles of money that the winners from all the points accrued get. So they have 200,000 Saudi Arabian riyads, which is equivalent to like $50,000. Then you have $1 million, which is $250,000. And then the last prize over there gets around 300,000. So suitcases of money just presented here. And at the end of the season, December 27th, they announce who wins all the money.
All right, so as I was booking the hotel for my stay here, I wanted to show you something that's absolutely crazy because it saved me thousands of dollars over the course of my recent bookings. So depending on where you are in the world, websites like Booking.com will give you different prices. So to access this, you need a VPN, which if you're unaware is a virtual private network, which helps keep your online activity and information private and secure. And I use Surfshark, the sponsor of this video. But let me show you some cool things. Now, what's cool about Surfshark VPN is you can also access and unblock streaming services if there's something you want to watch that's not available in your country. This is actually arguably my favorite feature because you unlock so many shows. You can also stay safe while you're on public Wi-Fi, whether you're traveling or just at your local cafe, because Surfshark encrypts your online data, which is of course necessary to stay safe. And this is great because they also have their Surfshark antivirus, which offers powerful device protection that secures everything from your webcam to your files. It's basically like 24/7 security for your online data, so you can just set and forget it. I really recommend Surfshark, y'all. I think it's really important to use a VPN, and they even have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So go to surfshark.com/Sambucha or use code Sambucha at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. Thank you again to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Now let's go ahead and explore more of Beastland.
All right, now let's head into the Beast Arena. Now, apparently this is the largest prize wall in history, and Guinness is perhaps going to be giving them a world record for this. We're coming up on it right now. That is a huge prize wall. Unfortunately, I don't have any points at the moment because I forgot to register properly. But if you do have any points, kind of like a Dave & Buster style, you're able to just like exchange your points for some of these prizes. You'll see up there, you get some like pretty crazy tech items, and then towards the bottom, you get your classic like tote bags and stuff. So apparently some people have been coming every single day since it opened 20 days ago, with a couple people even getting like 2 million points at this point, and even redeeming some of the mystery box prizes up there. So we're gonna go around this Beast Arena area, and I'm gonna show you the different games you could play to ultimately accrue your points. So you just saw mystery box, which is technically not in Beast Arena, but now we're here. So the first thing is like some gaming Beast Arena game called Revolution. And I think a lot of these games at Beast Arena are based off of other MrBeast challenges. So stuff that you'll see in his videos actually ended up turning into games in Beast Arena, which is cool. This is like a wipeout, like Fall Guys sort of thing. I think you have to play this against somebody, but it just looks like survive as these things move. That looks like a lot of fun. I don't think it's running right now though. They have a maze run game back here. Not sure what that entails, but it looks like a pretty poppin' game. There's a lot of people lining up back there for that. They have a battle bridge here, and again, this one is based off of a challenge that was in a MrBeast video. These games are pretty intense. Like, these are games that they're definitely thoughtful and they're all custom to MrBeast. So it's kind of cool how they all have like these own custom built games that you can accrue points for. It's very thoughtful so far. It feels like most of the things here, it's very deliberate, and it has a nice little like MrBeast touch to all of it. So it's very much like his theme park. They have a really large rock wall here called Beast Summit as well, which if you get to the top, I think you get a ton of points. There's so much open space here too. Maybe just because it's in like the middle of the desert in Saudi Arabia, but it doesn't feel super congested. It feels like you have a lot of room to just kind of move around and do your thing here. So very comfortable. Right now it's like Sunday night, so it's like one of the slower days, but if this place even was packed, I think like during its peak it gets 10,000 people or so per day. It shouldn't really feel like it because it's so big.
I mean, just generally walking around this place, it was quite comfortable. I mean, something about like the desert warm heat of Saudi Arabia as well. It was just nice, like not having wind and chills blown in my face, which I'm getting right now in New Jersey, New York area.
So this is a really cool game here in Beast Arena. It's called Airmail, where you go down a zip line and then you drop, I think like a beanie bag or something, and try to get it in the middle of this target here. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and play this one. It looks like a lot of fun. It doesn't seem like there's a line or anything, so let's see if we got a bullseye. All right, all set up now. I'm about to go up, and I have my one bag right here. I'm about to drop. Going up. All right. I actually don't think I've ever gone zip lining before. Hello. Hello, how are you?
Good?
Yep. All right. Let's nail it. All right, guys, so as you saw, I thought it was decent, and then I went to ask them how it was. They said it was mediocre, but I got 1,000 points for that. I got it outside the third ring. You know what? Deceivingly difficult. You think that's gonna be a lot easier than it is because you're like trying to survive the zip line and then also aiming for a target. But all things considered, really happy with that. Super fun too. You're able to get like a nice quick zip line in 5 minutes to go up and go back. So really happy with that. Let's walk around and see some more.
One thing that's interesting is that the theme park is open basically only at night, so from 4 p.m. to midnight. And I think a lot of that has to do with Saudi Arabian culture, with kids just being in school and stuff, so they ultimately come later in the day. That's why you'll see it's dark out when I went, because there's only 1 hour of sunlight basically in which you could take advantage of Beastland before it turns dark.
They have a game called Blocks over there, and then here's the next game that I will be playing, Tower Siege. I was told this is their best game in all of Beast Arena. All right, let's do it. So for Tower Siege, you could win up to 5,000 points, and it says you have to use the catapult to aim and launch your balls. So there's a catapult function here. All right, this might get crazy. I'd say this whole Beast Arena area definitely like makes it unique compared to other theme parks where you typically just have carnival games, rides, and food. This on top of it has all these MrBeast challenges, plus like a Dave & Buster arcadesy feel to it. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. I'm actually pretty impressed thus far. Let's play Tower Siege now because we have about 30 minutes until this place closes.
Now this next game is sick. It's an enormous catapult where you have to load it, aim the catapult, put pressure on it, and then ultimately shoot with the goal to get a ball into the goal. And the goal in this case was these giant tubes that you had to get the ball into.
All right, so I'm gonna load up the ball first. Okay, now I'm going to adjust the cannon here. That feels good. I'm going to give it some pressure. Maybe around there. Armed. Oh, do I want to get it inside of there?
Yeah, inside.
Oh, okay. So that was a weak first one. So I'm gonna need more pressure. But otherwise, I think it's looking good. I don't even know if I want to recalibrate it too much. All right, that looks good. I feel like a pirate, just like setting up a cannon. And fire.
Whoa!
Hey, got it. Let's go.
Let's go,
Is
great one.
that the best one to get in?
Inside, yes.
Yes, 5,000 points. That was the #1 target to hit. Wow, that was like a whole-on contraption.
Now, in addition to all the games and challenges obviously present at Beastland, there were a good amount of rides and roller coasters around the perimeter. I think I ended up counting a little over 20. But the one thing about me is that I'm not somebody who's gonna go on any temporary fair or theme park rides. The only rides that you'll kind of catch me on are like mega roller coasters if they're part of like the infrastructure of a spot. So it has to be like a Space Mountain at Disney or like a King Ka at Six Flags Great Adventure. So if Beastland was like a more permanent thing, you'd catch me on the rides, but for the most part, I'll just be enjoying the games and challenges. But that's not to say there weren't a lot of roller coasters and rides, because there certainly was.
If you see somebody dangling upside down, that is real, because this is a bungee area where you bungee jump. And apparently for bungee jumping alone, you get 20,000 points, which is like the maximum you can get from any game. But you can only do it once a season, notably. But nonetheless, you can go zip lining, play catapulting, and then go bungee jumping in a single day, which is pretty cool. A lot of different food stands, like here they have a crepes and waffles. Then over there, there's even more food, including a Dunkin' and a Domino's. All right, we're gonna go to shawarma right now and pick up some chicken shawarma. It's interesting that there's a full-on Dunkin' and Domino's, that they're like the sponsors of this event, because usually you don't see like these mega brands going into theme parks outside of like a Johnny Rockets here and there. So that's pretty cool. But the food court area has a ton of stuff, 20 different food items. We ordered the shawarma, so I'll let you know how that ultimately is. But actually pretty impressed with the food selection here. All right, now here comes some of the rides, the classic theme park attractions. You saw earlier one of the roller coasters, but there's no shortage of roller coasters, because there's another one right here called the Cocoa Beach. And then one of these like mega crane things that rock back and forth. These are always a lot of fun. This one's called the Artistco, I think. And then over here we have like the Mega Frogger ride that goes up and down. So this isn't your classic like carnival or fair where you just bring in the budget rides. There's some big time rides here. Again, like pretty impressed overall, I have to say, with like the amount of stuff and then the attention to detail on some stuff, and then just like the level of customization as well. Even have a Haagen-Dazs truck right here. So if you want to scoop up some ice cream, you can do that as well. This is the Beast store here. So I think it's all MrBeast themed items that you could purchase. So let's go inside and get some Beast merch.
And I have to say, I really enjoyed this store because it had everything consolidated into one place, and even had like all the new Feastables flavors up near the counter.
I'm eyeing this Beastland sweatshirt just to commemorate my time here. This looks like it fits, right? Looks cozy, right? All right, so just went ahead and purchased our Beastland sweatshirt. So I officially have merch from Beastland. So despite this place closing in about 20 days, I now have something that means that I've been here forever. Even the garbages here are MrBeast colors, so they're either blue or pink, which I think is like an interesting touch. And I think the pink ones are recycling and then the blue ones are garbage. So just like another interesting like customized touch that goes a pretty long way in just like ultimately making this Beast themed. All right, let's go ahead and eat this shawarma up and see if the food tastes any good here at Beastland. Love me some shawarma. It's like a whole little pack. I got some nuggets, fries. This is honey mustard. And then the main attraction here, oh. All right, I'm gonna take on the rest of this, and then we're gonna see the rest of the bar. All right, so we're heading over to the closing ceremony that they apparently do at the end of every day at 11:30. It closes at midnight. And at this place, this is where they announce the winners for the day in terms of who had the most points. We're gonna see ultimately who won. Might even be able to get on stage, which would be cool. But we're also passing by some other areas we haven't seen yet. So just more games and stuff, more rides. Just this whole place is massive. You just walk around and there's probably like 30 different rides, as you saw, 40 different carnival games, 20 different restaurants, and then the Beast Arena games as well. This is their largest ride here. I think it's an entirely custom build roller coaster called the Energizer that has that MrBeast blue and like the red color to it. This thing isn't operating right now because it is towards closing, so I think a lot of the rides are shut down, but I mean, look at this thing. It definitely is a beast, no pun intended.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, this is the closing ceremony. So we got Maj on stage right now, who's part of the Beast team, and he's basically like hyping everyone up and just like doing an outro for the day.
We have a special guest. I don't know if you guys know, but we got a creator that goes by the name of Sambucha.
Ooh. Shout out to Maj, thank you for that. So they're currently playing some of the recent MrBeast videos on the screen. So right now they're playing like the pilots video in which they compete for $1 million private jet. And I think they actually brought out some of the pilots to be at Beastland for this. So I think as new videos drop, they bring contestants to Beastland.
The end ceremony was a lot of fun. They had confetti, music, and people were just there vibing. I even ended up meeting up with Maj of the MrBeast team.
Let's go. You have a good time, bro?
Yeah, man, I had a blast.
I wanted to
I
really
wish I was here longer. Yeah.
We took a couple pictures, and I thanked him again for giving me the shout out on stage.
Honestly, Sambucha, the man, the myth, the legend, the GOAT. Get that, like and subscribe.
Hey.
Now, I imagine if Beastland is ultimately a success for the internal MrBeast team, they're probably going to open one up in the Americas. I actually saw an interview in which MrBeast alluded to one opening up in the United States sometime in 2026, maybe 2027. And I think the logic here is basically testing it out in the Middle East, and if the demand is there, then he'll probably end up bringing it somewhere in like Florida or North Carolina. All right, guys, that was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed. Honestly, Beastland really exceeded my expectations. Even though it's temporary, I'm sure it's going to come up at some point elsewhere. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more content, be sure to click here, Otherwise, subscribe me where we out, and I'll see you next time. Peace.